There comes a moment in every person's life when they are faced with a choice, not between good and evil, not between right and wrong in the traditional sense, but between staying small or becoming something more. Most people choose comfort. They choose to remain as they are, to do just enough to survive, to blend in, to be accepted, to be liked. But survival was never the goal of life. Survival is the bare minimum. The real purpose, the real drive, the real fulfillment comes not from surviving, but from becoming something powerful, becoming someone people never forget, becoming a force that shapes the world rather than reacts to it. Becoming a monster. Now, when I say monster, I don't mean cruel, I don't mean reckless or destructive, I mean powerful, I mean relentless, I mean someone who has mastered themselves so fully that they no longer wait for life to happen, they go out and make it happen. The kind of monster I'm talking about is one who turns pain into progress, who turns rejection into redirection, and who turns discipline into freedom. This monster doesn't beg for opportunities, they create them. They don't fear failure, they study it, dissect it, and rise from it stronger. They are not defined by what others think, they are defined by what they decide. We live in a world that often tells us to stay quiet. Don't be too ambitious, don't be too intense, don't dream too big, fit in, be manageable, be digestible, be pleasing. But monsters don't fit in, they don't shrink themselves to make others comfortable. They don't wait for the right moment, they become the right moment. They don't look around to see what everyone else is doing. They look inward and act from a fire that doesn't require external permission to burn. And that's why they rise, that's why they win, that's why they change the game. It starts with a choice. A decision to stop living for acceptance and start living for purpose. A decision to stop waiting and start creating. A decision to stop doubting and start doing. That choice is not made once. It's made every single day, in the moments when it's easier to rest than to push forward, in the moments when failure feels final. In the moments when nobody is watching and the applause has faded, that's when the monster is born, not in the spotlight but in the dark, not in the comfort but in the pain, not when things are easy, but when they're hard and you decide to show up anyway. People will fear what they don't understand. They will question your intensity. They will wonder why you don't settle, why you keep going, why you keep pushing. Let them wonder. Let them misunderstand you. Because monsters are not here to be understood. They're here to build, they're here to endure, they're here to change everything. And you don't do that by being nice and polite all the time. You do that by being bold. Being brave, being obsessed with growth, being dangerous to your doubts, being a monster to your excuses, being terrifying to the voice inside that says, you're not good enough. You silence that voice by acting in spite of it. Again and again and again. To become a monster is to become unrecognizable to the version of you that was okay with mediocrity. It's to become a stranger to the identity that was comfortable being unseen, unheard, and uninspired. It's to develop such a deep obsession with your potential that the thought of wasting it becomes painful. That's not arrogance, that's responsibility, because you were given life, you were given breath. You were given the ability to think, to move, to choose. What a waste it would be to live without ever becoming who you could have been. What a tragedy it would be to die full of potential that was never realized. That's what monsters fear the most, not failure, but regret. You will be tempted to stop, to settle, to go back to the safe version of yourself. That's normal, that's human, but you're not just here to be human. You're here to be exceptional, to become a monster in the pursuit of your vision, to scare the limits off your mind, to wake up and look in the mirror, not to see who you were, but to see who you're becoming. Every scar, every setback, every lonely night, it's not wasted, it's fuel, it's fire, it's the cost of greatness, and monsters are willing to pay the price because they know what's waiting on the other side is not comfort, it's purpose. This is your call, not to pretend, not to wait, not to wish, but to rise, to look at your flaws, your fears, your failures, and use them to stop playing small, to stop hiding your ambition, to stop apologizing for wanting more. You're not crazy, you're not wrong, you're not broken, you're just ready, ready to become what you were always meant to be, and no one is coming to give you permission. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to build your dream for you. That's your job, that's your burden, that's your power, so step into it, embrace the fire, and become a monster when the world pushes back. And you'll need to stand taller. When everyone doubts your vision and questions your drive, that's when you become relentless. It's easy to be motivated when the crowd cheers. It's easy to keep going when the path is clear and smooth. But monsters are made in the trenches, in the moments when no one's watching, when the only noise is the pounding of your own heart, and the relentless voice inside telling you to quit. You have to be the one who chooses to ignore that voice. You have to be the one who digs deeper when your body screams for rest and your mind begs for peace, because the difference between those who dream and those who achieve is the willingness to endure what others won't. You're going to face resistance, not just from outside but from within. Doubt will creep in disguised as reason. Fear will sneak up like a shadow, whispering lies about your limits. The monster doesn't deny these feelings. The monster acknowledges them but refuses to let them rule. It's not about being fearless. It's about being courageous in spite of fear. Courage doesn't mean the absence of fear. It means showing up even when fear is present. Every monster you admire, every icon, every leader, every innovator, they all had fear. They all had doubts, but they became monsters because they decided those fears would not define their story. This transformation demands sacrifice. It demands discipline. It demands that you become comfortable with being uncomfortable, because growth is a process of breaking down old versions of yourself so the new, stronger, fiercer version can emerge. You'll have to give up habits, relationships, comforts that no longer serve your purpose. You'll have to face loneliness because few can understand the path of the monster. Many will try to pull you back to safety. Many will call you selfish or reckless. Let them talk. The monster knows that to create something extraordinary, you have to be willing to walk alone for a while. The monster knows that true growth is often solitary, painful, and slow, but also unstoppable. In the end, becoming a monster is about owning your power. It's about taking responsibility for your life instead of blaming circumstances. It's about waking up each day with a mission so clear that setbacks become setups, failures become lessons, and doubt becomes fuel. It's about forging a mindset that sees opportunity where others see obstacles. It's about becoming a force so driven, so focused that nothing can deter you. When you become a monster, you stop playing the victim. You stop asking why me and start declaring watch me, because monsters don't wait for permission, they take it. They don't wait for chances, they make them, and most importantly, they don't wait for tomorrow, they start today. So now it's up to you. You can keep living in the shadows of doubt and fear, or you can step into the light of your own power and purpose. The world will never hand you greatness on a silver platter. You have to claim it, you have to fight for it. You have to become the monster who doesn't back down, who doesn't settle, who doesn't stop until the impossible becomes your reality. This is not a journey for the faint-hearted. It's for those who understand that greatness requires sacrifice, grit, and an unbreakable spirit. It's for those who know that pain is temporary but regret lasts forever. So rise up, be fierce, be relentless. Be the monster that wakes up every morning ready to conquer, to create, to lead. Because when you become that monster, nothing and no one can stand in your way. The future is yours to seize. Go take it.